During this time, the body has been preserved, having been injected with a concoction made from special flowers and grasses. On occasions, they preserve the body for up to 20 years, until the family has been able to raise the money needed for the burial. Officially, the funeral cannot begin until the coffin leaves the family home and is placed in a small sanctuary on the rente, the terrace where the ceremony will take place. Once the coffin has been carried in and placed on the catafalque, it begins its journey through the jungle, preceded by the women closest to the deceased, who hold a long red cloth as a symbol of the road that must be followed in order to reach Puya, heaven. This short journey to the rente is also the occasion for the neighbors who have not been invited to the burial to express their condolences to the family of the deceased. Meanwhile, Bato, the carpenter of Kete, is hurrying to complete a sculpture of the deceased Mayana. These figures are called Tau Tau and are a symbol of the Toraja culture. They are life-size, and though traditionally they only depicted the gender of the person, now they try to make them resemble the deceased. The Tau Tau are paid for by the entire community in appreciation of the generosity of the deceased, and are almost exclusively the privilege of the upper classes. In the rock crevices around the region of Tanah Toraja, dozens of these human figures stare out from their wooden balconies on the cliff face, watching over the spirits. The figures are dressed and decorated with clothes and jewelry which belong to the deceased, and on occasion the wigs are made from their real hair. It is a relatively recent custom which began in the 19th century, and the type of wood used is indicative of the social position of the dead person. But after so many years of funerals, there remain few rocks and escarpments in which to bury the bodies. And though the aim is that the family should remain united even after death, the lack of space means coffins often have to be placed in bamboo structures in the open air. In time, the wood has rotted, converting these sacred rocks into macabre, sinister places. Children who die before their teeth appear are buried in the trunks of these trees because for the Toraja, they still belong to Mother Nature, and as such should remain with her. The soul will travel to heaven up the trunk. In the sacred rocks of Rante Pao, the workers excavate new spaces in which to bury Mayana alongside his ancestors. Here there are no mechanical excavators or pneumatic drills. Everything is done with hammer blows, so the construction of a family pantheon can take several months, determining the date on which the funeral can be held. The Toraja prefer to hold the ceremony during the dry season, that is between June and September, which is when they have most time, as the rice fields require very little care. For this work, Mayana's family will have to pay 5 buffaloes. On the island of Sulawesi, it is customary to use these animals as currency. After 2 hours of bumping along the road, the catafalque finally arrives at the place Mayana's family has constructed to hold the funeral ceremony. The most surprising thing is the party atmosphere. It's difficult to imagine, especially for Westerners, that we're at a funeral. But this also forms part of the ritual. The families of the dead man and his widow compete over the catafalque to demonstrate the strength of the clan. And in the middle, the poor Mayana, who, if he came back to life now, would surely beg to again return to his eternal rest. With spirits somewhat calmer, the catafalque is taken down to transfer the coffin to the sanctuary. Once it has been placed inside with the head pointing west, the funeral can officially begin. From now on and for 5 days, the piece of kete will be broken as never before. The morning of the second day rises clear and sunny. The over 2,000 guests who have arrived from all corners of Indonesia, Borneo, Java, Sumatra, Lombok, Bali, Flores, are welcomed with offerings of betel and spiced cigarettes. 3 dancers lead the procession and between songs and cries announce where each group has come from. The sound of the gong marks the rhythm of the ceremony, and little by little the atmosphere becomes more solemn. Mayana's grandchildren line up to receive the condolences and to thank the guests for their presence. The protocol is very important, and many rules have to be respected so that no one feels offended. In the background, the widows remain sitting beside the coffin, cooking food which they offer to the dead man. An invitation to visit the deceased is a real honor, and it is considered impolite to say no. If you accept, you'll have to ask the dead man for permission to leave, just as if he was still alive. Each group of guests is preceded by their offerings. This is the perfect time to demonstrate how well you are doing in life. And there are constant exclamations at the number of animals a single individual is capable of giving, or the size of some of the pigs, like this one. It's all 10 men can do to get it out of the van. The quality of the gifts is inspected and duly registered. In the past, they would be simply etched in the memories of the old people, but today every detail is carefully written down. The most appreciated, without a doubt, are the albino buffaloes, which here are called tedong bonga, and can cost over $1,000, A fortune if we consider that the average salary of a civil servant is scarcely $120 a month.